Odin. In the beginning, there was no earth, no sky, only the vast, empty void of Ginnungagap. To the north lay Niflheim, a realm of icy mist and biting cold, and to the south Muspelheim, a land of scorching fire. When the fiery winds of Muspelheim met the icy rivers of Niflheim, a cosmic thaw began, giving birth to the first being, Ymir, a colossal frost giant, and Audhumla, a giant cow whose milk sustained Ymir. As Audhumla licked the salty ice, a new being emerged from the frost, Uri, the first god, progenitor of the Aesir. His son Bor, in turn, fathered three mighty gods, Odin, Vili, and Ve. These three brothers looked upon the chaotic realm and saw a cosmos waiting to be forged. They slew Ymir, and from his vast body they fashioned the world. His flesh became the earth, his bones the mountains, his blood the oceans, and his skull the sky. They used sparks from Muspelheim to create the stars, sun, and moon. They then breathed life into two trees, creating the first humans, Ask and Embla. Odin, the eldest and wisest, ascended to rule Asgard, the realm of the gods. This act of creation, born from violence, foreshadowed the ultimate destruction and renewal that awaited the cosmos. Odin, now the Allfather, presided over 9 realms, striving to bring order to a universe perpetually balanced between creation and chaos. Driven by the pursuit of knowledge, Odin famously sacrificed one of his eyes at the well of Mimir, a source of all wisdom, forever marking him as the one-eyed god. He also hung himself on the world tree Yggdrasil for 9 days and nights, pierced by his own spear, to learn the secret of the runes and master potent magic. He wielded the spear Gungnir, which never missed its target, and rode the 8-legged steed Sleipnir. His 2 ravens, Hugin, Thought, and Munin, Memory, flew across the 9 realms daily, bringing him news. 2 wolves, Geri and Freki, accompanied him. Odin gathered fallen warriors, the Einherjar, in Valhalla, training them for the great final battle. His relentless quest for wisdom and his collection of warriors were all preparations for a destiny he knew could not be entirely escaped. Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Frigg, queen of the Aesir, was Odin's beloved wife and the goddess of marriage, motherhood, and domestic arts. She presided over Fensalir, her marsh hall. Frigg possessed the unique ability of foresight, knowing the destiny of all beings, yet she famously remained silent about what she knew, never revealing the future to anyone. Her profound love for her son, Baldr, led her to extract an oath from every living thing and object in the cosmos not to harm him, believing she had made him completely invulnerable. This act of maternal devotion, however, contained the single, overlooked detail, the mistletoe, that would tragically lead to Baldr's demise, an event she foresaw but could not or would not prevent. Her sorrow at his death was immense, a prelude to the greater sorrows that awaited the gods. Thor, the mighty god of thunder, was Asgard's foremost protector and champion of both gods and humanity. Son of Odin and Njörðr, Earth, he embodied immense physical strength, courage, and a hot temper. His most famous possession was Mjolnir, a magical hammer that always returned to his hand after being thrown. He also wore Njörðr, a belt that doubled his strength, and Jarngreipr, iron gloves needed to wield Mjolnir. Thor was a relentless foe of the Jötnar, giants, often journeying to Jotunheim to confront them. He was beloved by mortals for his role in protecting Midgard from these monstrous threats. Despite his strength, he was occasionally outsmarted by giants or tricksters like Loki, often leading to humorous, albeit dangerous, adventures. His thunderous presence was a constant reassurance against the chaotic forces. Loki, the cunning trickster god, defied easy categorization. Though counted among the Aesir and blood brother to Odin, he was actually a Jotun by birth. A master shapeshifter and manipulator, Loki possessed keen intelligence and a silver tongue, often using deceit and mischief to create chaos, though sometimes his schemes inadvertently aided the gods. Loki's unpredictable nature led to both great perils and occasional salvation for Asgard. He was responsible for many of the gods' treasures, including Mjolnir, though he initially caused its creation through a prank. However, his darker side led to betrayal and tragedy. He fathered monstrous children, the wolf Fenrir, the serpent Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, and Hel, ruler of the underworld realm of Helheim. Loki's ultimate act of malice, the death of Baldr, sealed his fate and set in motion the irreversible chain of events leading to Ragnarok, where he would emerge as a leader of the forces against the gods. Freya, a Vanir goddess, was the most prominent goddess associated with love, beauty, fertility, and wealth. Uniquely, she was also a powerful deity of war and death, choosing half of the warriors who fell in battle to reside in her hall, Folkvangr, while Odin claimed the other half for Valhalla. She traveled in a chariot pulled by 2 large cats and possessed a magnificent cloak of falcon feathers, allowing her to shapeshift into a bird. Freya wept tears of gold, symbolizing her precious nature. Her twin brother was Freyr, a god of prosperity. She was constantly sought after by the Njörðr, who desired her beauty and power. Her dual nature, encompassing both life's greatest joys and the grim realities of war and death, reflected the Norse understanding of fate and heroism. Baldr, the beloved god of light, beauty, purity, and joy, was the son of Odin and Frigg. He was known for his gentle nature, radiant appearance, and universal popularity among gods and mortals alike. Frigg, fearing for his life after he began having prophetic dreams of his own death, exacted an oath from all things in creation never to harm him. This made Baldr seemingly invulnerable, and the gods often amused themselves by throwing weapons at him, watching them harmlessly bounce away. However, Loki, resentful of Baldr's perfection and popularity, discovered the one small plant Frigg had overlooked: mistletoe. He tricked the blind god Njörðr into throwing a dart made of mistletoe at Baldr, instantly killing him. Baldr's death was a profound tragedy, plunging Asgard into immense grief. Hel, the grim ruler of Helheim, the realm of the dead for those who died of illness, old age, or non-heroic means, was one of Loki's 3 monstrous children, along with Fenrir and Jörmungandr. Her appearance was chilling, half-beautiful living woman, half-decaying corpse, reflecting her dominion over life and death. Odin banished her to Helheim, giving her authority over the vast numbers of the unheroic dead. Her realm was a place of cold, gloom, and endless twilight, a stark contrast to the glorious halls of Valhalla. She presided over a desolate landscape where souls existed in a shadowed reflection of their former lives. Hel's domain stood as a chilling reminder that not all paths in the afterlife led to heroic glory, and her inevitable emergence with her legions would be a terrifying force during Ragnarok. Heimdall, the watchful guardian of Asgard, and the Rainbow Bridge Bifrost possessed extraordinarily keen senses. He could hear grass grow and see for hundreds of miles, even in the darkest night. He required less sleep than a bird and was always alert, his post at the entrance to Asgard crucial for the safety of the gods. He carried the resonating horn, Gjallarhorn, which he would sound to signal the beginning of Ragnarok, alerting all 9 realms to the final conflict. Heimdall was also credited with creating the social classes among humanity. He was said to have 9 mothers, all giantesses. His unwavering vigilance and unique abilities made him the first and last line of defense for Asgard, a sentinel who knew the future but could only warn of its coming. Tyr, an ancient and venerable god of law, justice, and honorable warfare, was known for his immense courage and his unwavering adherence to oaths. His most famous act of self-sacrifice came when the gods realized the monstrous wolf Fenrir, one of Loki's dreaded children, was growing too powerful and dangerous. They tried to bind Fenrir with various chains, but he broke them all. Finally, the dwarves forged Gleipnir, a magical, unbreakable ribbon. Fenrir, suspicious, agreed to be bound only if one of the gods placed a hand in his mouth as a pledge. Only Tyr was brave enough to step forward. As Fenrir struggled against Gleipnir and realized he was trapped, he bit off Tyr's hand. Thus, Tyr became the one-handed god. Njörðr, a prominent god among the Vanir, an older race of gods associated with fertility, wisdom, and foresight, was the deity of the sea, seafaring, wealth, and fishing. Unlike the Aesir, who embodied war and order, the Vanir represented peace and prosperity. Njörðr was father to the beloved twin deities, Freyr and Freya. He was known for his calm demeanor and his association with wealth gained from the sea. Despite a tumultuous marriage with the giantess Skadi, Njörðr's domain was generally one of tranquility and abundance. He was highly revered by sailors and fishermen, who sought his favor for safe voyages and plentiful catches. His connection to prosperity and the vast ocean devotion provided a vital balance to the more warlike aspects of the Aesir pantheon. Freyr, the twin brother of Freya and son of Njörðr, was a revered Vanir god of fertility, peace, prosperity, sunshine, and good harvests. He was deeply connected to the land and the well-being of humanity, often depicted with a golden boar or carrying a horn of plenty. Freyr possessed two wondrous magical items: Gullinbursti, a boar with golden bristles that could light up the darkest night, and Skidbladnir, a ship that could be folded up and carried in a pouch, but would expand to carry all the gods and sail over land or sea. Freyr was associated with bounty and the joys of life. He eventually gave away his magical sword to win the hand of the giantess Njörðr, an act that would leave him unarmed during Ragnarok. His generous nature ensured the fertility of the earth and the prosperity of humanity, but his future vulnerability hinted at the gods' collective fate. Idun, goddess of youth and spring, was the cherished keeper of the golden apples. These magical apples were the source of the gods' perpetual youth and vitality. Without them, the Aesir would age and wither like mortals. Idun was married to Bragi, the god of poetry. Her abduction by the giant Thiazi, with Loki's unwitting help, caused the gods to rapidly age and weaken, highlighting her crucial role in their existence. Odin and the other gods desperately worked to retrieve her and her apples, as their very immortality depended on her. Idun's presence was a constant reminder of the fragile balance between youth and decay, a precious ward against the inevitable decline of time. Bragi was the esteemed god of poetry, eloquence, and music, known as the chief skald of Valhalla. He was the son of Odin and husband to Idun, keeper of the golden apples. Bragi was often depicted with a long beard, symbolizing wisdom and experience, and a harp, representing his musical talents. He was responsible for welcoming fallen warriors into Valhalla with verses and ensuring that the art of poetry flourished among gods and mortals. New skalds often offered their first verses to Bragi to gain his blessing. His presence ensured that the glorious deeds of gods and heroes would be immortalized in verse, carrying their legends through time until the very end of days. Sif was a goddess associated with fertility, the harvest, and family. She was the wife of Thor and known for her famously long golden hair, which was said to resemble fields of ripe grain. Her golden hair was once a source of mischief, as Loki mischievously cut it off as a prank. In response to Thor's rage, Loki was forced to acquire a new head of hair for Sif from the dwarves, leading to the creation of other treasures for the gods, including Thor's hammer Mjolnir. Sif's golden locks symbolized the prosperity of the land, and her story, though often overshadowed by Thor's exploits, underscored Loki's role in inadvertently bringing about some of the gods' greatest possessions. Ullr was a skilled and ancient god associated with archery, hunting, skiing, and shields. He was the son of Sif and the stepson of Thor. Ullr was renowned as an exceptional bowman and a swift skier, often depicted on skis or snowshoes with his bow. His shield was not just for defense, it could also serve as a boat, allowing him to glide over water. He was often invoked for success in hunting and duels, and oaths were sometimes sworn by his ring. While his mythology is less expansive than some other deities, his mastery of specific skills made him a respected figure, particularly in winter activities and wilderness pursuits. Ullr represented the quiet mastery of skill and survival in the harsh, untamed landscapes of the Norse world.